So I'm going to ask you what were your beginnings on the internet?
Okay. So my okay, beginnings on the internet in general, like first time ever venturing on the
Uh
web,
I guess like
or do you
content
mean,
creation.
okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
My first venture into the internet as far as content creation. See, I didn't know that content creation was a thing. I was a very sheltered kid.
Yeah.
Lived way out in the boonies. I was a farm kid. Didn't have anything to do on the internet. We didn't even have we had the internet hooked up to our main computer, and this was when dial-up was a thing. I remember the annoying dial-up sound. And so my experience on the internet before, I don't know, I was maybe like 21, 22, somewhere in there, was just looking up cheats on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Cheatsy.com. That was my place. What really got me started into it is I got into, well, I've always been into zombies. I've been into Call of Duty Zombies from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
What got me into it was, for whatever reason, a Mr. Raffle Waffles video popped up. And I had no idea there was a story. I had no idea any of it. And I went down a rabbit hole of watching his videos. And it's a funny story because at first I really liked Mr. Awful Waffles, but I did not like Noah J456.
Me neither. I was
There was
never
a
a Noah J guy.
there was a video of the two of them together, and Noah was being such a jerk, and I was just like, wow, Milo is like the nicest guy, and Noah, I mean, he was just memeing on him. They were playing Sniper Elite 3, I think it would have been back then. But that's really what started me into it. And then I was like, wow, like these guys, they're doing something really cool. Like this seems like it's a lot of fun. So I started my own channel. I had a crappy, really terrible laptop that I couldn't play games on. I couldn't do anything on. So I spent more than I should have. I got a capture card. I had my PS4, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do what everyone's doing. I'm going to make guides." And I remember
Oh boy. Yeah.
I spent, and it wasn't good because I was in my college career pretty early on at that point. I spent probably 14, 15 hours making an Origins Easter egg guide.
Oh wow.
And I was so proud of it. And looking back now, I don't even know if I can find it. I don't have my original channel. I ended up deleting it. Um, but and anyone that has ventured into content creation probably will say the same thing. Your first video you post, you're so proud of it. You're like, this is going to blow me up. This is going to be, it's way better than everyone else's. And
Oh
you
yeah.
post it and you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
Exactly.
If you're brave enough to tell your friends that you made a YouTube video, they will click on it. But I wasn't brave enough. I didn't tell anyone. And looking back now, it was trash. Like I've watched it since and I'm not proud of it. But that would be the original thing that got me into it was an Origins Easter egg guide.
Yeah.
And then from there, again, I didn't know live streaming was a thing. I, again, on my crappy little laptop webcam, I started streaming, and this was right when World War II zombies would have happened. So I remember streaming the Final Reich. My computer barely played it. So yeah, that would be my start into
Yeah.
the internet and content creation. What about
Yeah.
you?
Mine was kind of like similar beginnings in terms of the equipment. I had a big black laptop that my mom ordered off of the TV, and she got two, one for her and one for me. And and I started watching Five Nights at Freddy's videos, and I was just obsessed with it. I had a personal like group of like a circle of friends that I would hear about it all the time, from talking about Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all these big guys that are like household names now, and And then I picked up Black Ops 1 Zombies one day, and I'm like, I wonder if there's YouTube videos about this. So I start looking it up. I start going through, just the roster, Mr. Raffle Waffles, like 2Pro games, and then eventually to like some smaller streamers like Greg FPS and Lunatic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, this is pretty cool. Maybe I should try this out. So I started doing some like not great videos, zero editing, like one take, that's it. You hear my mom talking to my grandma in the background, so that's staying in the video because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then eventually I gave my capture card away. My laptop almost like blew up or something. Like it got to the point to where there was like so many viruses on it and stuff that whenever I would open it, it would go ew 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 like a police car. So I'd just close it and I'd throw it away. So that was an interesting end to that saga. And then I moved into doing like just live streams straight from the PlayStation 4. I did that for like off and on for like 3 or 4 years, and then I gained a few hundred subs from then. Again, off and on because I streamed off and on. I didn't really stay consistent with it ever until now. Hopefully, this can not only the podcast but my new equipment and whatnot can help change the tides for that. Yeah. It was very humble beginnings, and I'm kind of redoing it now. I got a laptop and like the same Elgato brand of capture card. So yeah, yeah, those were my beginnings. Zombies has definitely carried my weight throughout this whole thing, I think. So yeah,
I feel like there are at least a few thousand, if not tens of thousands of people that started on zombies
yeah,
and then realized there's nothing to do with zombies anymore
yeah.
and quit.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's being someone that like does game content in general is kind of dodgy because you have to rely on the game that you're making it on. And if you're a game like Call of Duty with annual releases and you're constantly recycling the same stuff and the new stuff doesn't stick, and now you're like, okay, do I switch to a new game? Do I get a new job? Do I just abandon this altogether? What do I do? It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely trying to make it as a content creator. I feel like especially in gaming is a tough one. It's a really tough nut to crack. And like you said, with Call of Duty, I feel like being a Call of Duty content creator, you kind of have you have even a moderately sized, 20, 30,000 people that watch your videos. I feel like you can make it with Call of Duty because there is enough new content in general. It kind of just depends on if people want to keep watching Call of Duty content.
Yeah, I mean, I can go down the rabbit hole of like, how bad Call of Duty is, and maybe in like a later episode, but like
I think we could make a special on that.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh yeah, I love to. So but yeah, speaking of no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we change the subject, what would you, so as far as you wanting to join the content creation scene, what would you say was your most like, oh, I want to do that moment? Or like the person that made you want to replicate that or, do what they're doing?
Let's see. Probably honestly, that part didn't really stem from Call of Duty. It kind of stemmed from someone named you may have heard of this small YouTuber, Stampy Longnose, a Minecraft YouTuber. He was super popular back in the day. He fell off anyway. Made a book, maybe even a TV show or something. But yeah, he did like gameplay videos every day, and I'm like, maybe I could do the same thing with zombies or even Minecraft, because I mean, honestly, I can like interchange the two. Like they're two of my favorite games. So yeah, just like daily videos that kind of progress my world, so to speak. And something to get the audience interested into. But streaming, I really got it from watching Mr. Dog JD. It was launch night, the launch hour in quotes of World War II Zombies, when he was streaming the Final Reich like an hour before release or just something stupid like that, and he beat the Easter egg, and I'm like, yeah, this looks fun. But he's also he got all that information from a third party, so shame on you. But also, I really want to do that. So yeah, like cool, like that would be nice to like play the games early and whatnot if I become popular. Make maybe not Easter egg guides because I'm not really an Easter egg person, but
Right.
just like general gameplay videos and whatnot, finding I don't know, side Easter eggs, hidden references, stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What
That's
about
cool.
you?
So I would say for me, the moment that I really was like, oh man, that looks awesome. I want to do it. For anyone watching that might not be super familiar with what we're talking about with the Call of Duty Zombies community, there was for a couple of years an event that went on called EE for C, so Easter eggs for charity.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest, I don't even remember what the number was. It was like 20-ish YouTubers would
Yeah,
get
something like
together, and
that.
they had teams of 4, and they would race to complete all the maps or the Easter eggs in the maps. And the community, so the viewers of the streamers, everything that was donated went into the prize pool. The first year they did it, which was probably like 2015, 2016, I don't remember.
Yeah, 2016,
They
17.
Yeah, they raised I think $100,000, and then the next year they raised over 200,000. And for me, that was a really big, because you're told, at least I was told all my life, video games will never get you anywhere. You're
Mm-hmm.
wasting your time with video games. So for me, that was a big moment that was like, wow, that is a lot of money that these people raised to give to charity. And it was a big like aha moment to me, is like, maybe the internet and gaming isn't bad. Like maybe we can do, maybe you can do good on the internet. And there's a big selfish component of it, because it's like, man,
Mm-hmm.
these guys are making a lot of money to just sit
Yeah.
around and, play video games,
Mm-hmm.
which on the onset, sounds nice, but it gets to a point where you realize how much work really goes into even one video. So
Yeah.
that was my big moment, was when the community came together and they made this big thing happen. So
Well, your choice is a lot more noble than mine. I'll say that.
well, no, I think everyone has their own point where they're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to,
Mm-hmm.
because I would say, I don't know, maybe this is hyperbolic to say, I would say most people start because they watched someone else do it, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
like, oh, that looks fun. And
Mm-hmm.
there's the ones that actually make it, and there's the ones that kind of fizzle out and don't really go anywhere, but they had fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think it's all valid.
Oh yeah.